Warm welcome to our video. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the moment. Courses we offer at Aet, voiced by Dr. Nicholas Curie.
At Aet, we have got programs that helps to meet those students who have got no grade 9 certificate to be able to have access to do the courses, all the courses that we have. These programs that helps to bridge our learners from grade 7. We have got the engineering orientation in construction, as well as in mechanical and electrical. These are to complete the part of grade 8 so that these learners are able to do the courses that we have without being hindered. But in most of all, we have got the qualifications that we offer, which is the designing and drafting. We call it MTDOP. This is a universal program that covers most of the engineering fields, mostly on the 2D side. Then we have got the piping design and drafting. This is mostly a 3D program. It covers mostly on the processing industry side as well as on the fluid flow side. When we talk of processing industry, we look at petrochemical industry. It is all consists of piping. Mining is all piping. We come water circulation and the water supply. That is also piping, and this is all in the construction side. We have got the manufacturing industry. They need also the flow of the fluid. So that is the piping program that we have. Then we also have other programs that run independent, like mechanical engineering up to national diploma. We have got electrical engineering up to national diploma. We have got civil engineering up to national diploma. We also have the full qualification for project management. We have got also automotive and motor mechanics. We also have the other programs that we have built in the combination. The reason we have built these programs I'll talk about, it's because of the need that the industry have. For example, a student might be well equipped in piping, but if he does not have the strong backbone on mathematics and sciences, you find that they'll feel not confident enough. So we have come up with programs like plant engineering technology. Plant engineering technology, it has got programs in it like mechanical, electrical, civil, piping, as well as the drafting and design. These programs, they build a person to become very strong and more confident, even to have the abilities to open their own businesses and manage it without fear. And they will not have any fear to be able to meet any aspect or any kind of job, because they understand the engineering inside out. Then we also have construction. It's also a combination of civil, mechanical, piping, drafting, and design as well. This course also develops a person to have the abilities to be able to run projects in all construction sector, from the land development up to mega structures, road networking, and so on. So we'll try to break down all these programs so that we get the full understanding. But all in all, these programs, as we run them, because most of them, they start from the background of drafting and design. We have got softwares that we are using, and we do not charge students for these softwares. We install for them at no extra cost, such as AutoCAD, a 2D program, Inventor, a 3D program, Rivet, a 3D program. We'll explain how these programs are used in order for us to achieve and succeed in our vision. When we come to our programs, we have got two major streams that we are working with. And we have realized that these streams, they already build a learner to become the most competent personnel in engineering field. The first one is a plant and we have got the construction. Now, we'll start first explaining on the part of construction and what is involved in the construction. When we look at construction, it is built using these following streams, which is the civil engineering. Then we have got the mechanical engineering, the piping engineering, then drafting and design. Now, when we look at civil engineering, we have got the disciplines such as the sewer system, we have got the road networking system, we have got the tunnels, we have got even the buildings, the bridges. All these, if you look at them, before you could even make a bridge, you have to start first with the designing. Though project management is the one of the first aspect, but for you to succeed with your project management, costing and the rest, you need the designs, you need the drawings, you need the bill of materials, you need the material type. And all these, you can only get them from the drafting and design side. Then after you do that, then now that is when you go into the civil engineering side, where now you build the actual, if it's a bridge, you build the bridge. But even when you're building, you refer to the drawings. If we come to mega structures, you need to make sure you analyze everything, you do the analysis of the materials before you could build the structure, which is done in the design and drafting softwares, where you do the simulation. Then when they are building, they will refer to the drawings. Now, we have discovered that most of our African institutions, they don't focus on the design and drafting, they focus on the theory. That is why we are saying our learners, we have to make sure they understand the aspect of design and drafting, because it is the backbone of engineering. Now, why do we have civil engineering, mechanical, piping and drafting in the construction? Look at this aspect. When we look at the civil, it's like the main backbone of construction. But mechanical comes in because we talk about strength of materials, which is one of the subjects in mechanical, but it is a very important tool or subject that needs to be used in the construction. We look at fluid flow, which in civil you find they will say water engineering, and also we have plumbing and so on. All these are part of the programs in mechanical, but they are very critical programs in the construction. We look again at the structures like structural steel. On the structural steel, you need to understand the strength and all the stresses that are involved in the material. It's a mechanical, but it's also civil. So that is why mechanical and civil cannot separate. They work hand in hand. Though there are aspects in mechanical that are purely separated from civil, but in this aspect, like plumbing is part of civil, but it's mechanical. So that is why we combine the two. Now we come to piping engineering. This is the key factor, because piping system. For example, water circulation system. Water circulation system needs piping. So you have to design first. You need to know what are the piping size, what is the material, what are the material types you need, and what is the what fluid is going to be flowing in the system. So now you need piping to make sure that you do the whole networking, and to make sure that the whole design is done in 3D before you could even do the construction and the installation. Now, again on the piping, you know fluid flows in the pipe. Even powder flows in the pipe. You can't do away with piping. As long as you are using fluid, you need to make sure it's done. Even the sewer lines, they need piping. Even when we talk about the the ducting, which is mechanical, it's also piping, but it's also in construction. Now, we have the drafting. The drafting, we have got softwares like Rivet. Rivet has got the intelligence of Rivet MEP, which is mechanical, electrical, and piping. This one, we use it when we are doing the ducting system, we are doing the sprinkler design for fire protection. All these are part of construction. So that is why you look at this program is one of the most critical program in the life of engineering and the development of the country. The beauty of the country is seen from its structures, from the road networking, the bridges, how they are designed, and the beauty of the advanced designs that are coming on board. All these they bring the life of the country into the picture. That is why construction, it needs to be broadened and to make sure that our learners, they understand to the fullest. These disciplines, they are also lacking so much, more especially in the university aspect, because the focus there is theory. But the industry does not focus on theory, it focuses on actual work. That is why we build our students and our learners in this manner. Previous, we explained briefly about construction, because if we explain in detail, it might take almost the whole day, because these are very broad disciplines. Now we look at the other stream, which is the plant. On the plant side, we have combined the programs like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering is also there, piping engineering, then we have got drafting and design. Now, as we discussed, when we come to mechanical, even in the plant, you find that there are aspects that we don't focus in detail in the mechanical, because they are purely mechanical only. But when we come to plant, it is the intelligence that we have looked at to say, okay, here I've got a petrochemical plant, or I've got a mining plant, or I've got a processing, food processing plant, even a beverage processing plant. All these, when you look at them, there are things that you just purchase. Like, for example, I need a pump, I'll go and purchase a pump, because it's a purely mechanical and designed, and it has got its own aspect. Now, when in this plant, when we look at the mechanical, we are focusing to say, I want a vessel. A vessel, I will not go and buy it, because I need to create my own specifications. It is an item that you find in piping, but it is a mechanical. So you need to design a vessel. When we talk of vessel, we have got like fractionating column, we have got thickeners, we have got agitators, froth tanks. All these, even storage tanks, they are considered as vessels, and they are mechanical equipment, but at the same time, they build up the brain of piping. So in mechanical, you design them. You do all the detail about them. Then we go further, we even do testing of these equipment, pressure testing. Even you look at the welds, if they are nicely done. Now, for you to be able to make this equipment, to do the fabrication of this equipment, you need the design. That design, we need the drawings as well to do the costing, and also for approval, and for the fabrication and manufacturing. That is why you find that mechanical is also a very important package in the plant. We come to electrical. Now, you finish the whole plant, you have designed everything, they have done the construction and the installation has been done. But you still need electrical networking that is going to be used so that you can run the equipment. That is why electrical comes in, because you need pumps in a plant, you need compressors, you need turbines. All these, they will help you when it comes when you involve electricity, so that it is a complete package. Okay, even in the plant like electrical production plant, it is a plant, so it will need all these. That is why electrical is one of the most important field in the plant. Now, when we come to civil, why do we have civil in the plant? A plant, when we look at it in our aspect, we look at it to say it's a full-grown brain that has got all the knowledge in it. So when they are doing construction, they need to know to say, okay, this is where we need to put the warehouse. This is where we are putting the blocks, the buildings. This is where the pipe rack is going to be. So what do? You need to have a civil drawing that will have even road networking, everything. You don't need to go and hire as another person to do the project for you. You need to have all the intelligence. Even in the water circulation, you need to understand all that on the plumbing. That is why civil comes in. We have got disciplines like structural designs. They are part of civil, but they are also part of mechanical. Structure, like the pipe racks. Pipe racks, they are structural designs. And these are very critical part of the plant. You have got the walkways, you have got cut ladders. All these are part of civil, but they are also part of mechanical. So that is why you can't eliminate civil from the plant. So you find a person who does plant has got this broader understanding than a person who just focuses on mechanical or on electrical. Then we have got the piping now, which is the full heart of the plant. You have got the pipe networking. You have got the vessels. You have got the pipe racks. So now this one, the piping engineer, it like incorporates all these engineering fields and build one brain. It is the heart of plant. Then that is why even there is a high advanced part which you will do in 3D to make sure the plant is fully done. For example, like what our students have done. For example, maybe few students which will be shown as below.
Good day to you all. My name is Matembe Mhlanga, and welcome to my presentation on what we study here at AET College. Today we are proud to showcase the journey we've taken and the skills we've gained through our studies in multidisciplinary drawing office practice and piping design. At our school, we are trained not just to learn, but to create, solve, and contribute to real-world industries. Through the drawing office practice, we've mastered the art of technical drafting across various engineering disciplines like mechanical, civil, electrical, and structural. Using industry standard software and techniques. In piping design, we've learned to bring functionality and precision together. From understanding process flow diagrams and piping layouts to designing piping systems that meet industrial codes and standards. We've prepared ourselves to step into high demand fields like oil and gas, power plants, and manufacturing. This presentation is a celebration of our hard work, creativity, and technical growth. We invite you to take a look at what we've accomplished, and more importantly, what we are capable of.
This is Autodesk Inventor. It's one of the softwares that we practice here at Africa Engineering Transformation. It is mainly used to design and simulate mechanical parts and systems before they are built physically, saving time and reducing costly errors in manufacturing. So here we have one of the projects that we are currently working on in our piping design course. The project is to design and simulate a chemical plant. In your design, you'd have to include your warehouse, your equipment and their positions, your piping systems, your ladders, your cat ladders, your pipe rack, your office spaces, and your roads and maintenance areas. So, when designing, you must always keep in mind that engineers would have to manufacture, would have to build, would have to work on whatever you are designing. For instance, here, this is a warehouse design. When designing, using your SSD, skills that you have acquired in your steel structural design module in MDDOP, you will then put together and assemble your warehouse. Keeping in mind that this has to be manufactured, this has to be built, and people would have to work eventually on what you have designed, right? So what else would you find in a plant layout? You would find your equipment, you would find your piping system, you would find your cat ladder and your staircase. You'd have to design each and every equipment one by one. So everything that you design would have to make sense for whenever it is found on a site. Any mistake they would have to call you, or any functional problems, you would have to be called on site, and you'd have to explain why mistakes have happened. So this is a cat ladder system. Basically, it's also SSD, steel structural design. What else you'd find here? You'd find that there's a piping system, right? Piping system is a way for fluid to travel from vessel to vessel. Like this one here, you include your valves, you include your flanges, and you make sure when you're designing that everything that you design makes sense, because this is something that you will find in a site, and any problems will trace back to you. See, so you'd have your equipment, your vessels as well, designed and assembled here. This just to simulate the actual thing before it is designed and manufactured by the engineers, right? As you can see. So these are just some of what Inventor can do, some of the possibilities that Inventor can do, and some of the capabilities that we have acquired here in Africa Engineering Transformation. So all in a nutshell, this is just part of what we've done here in AET. This is the plant, the side view of my plant. You can see no pipe is touching any other pipe, and no equipment is too far from the pipe rack, and no equipment is too far from the pipe rack, and there is access for engineers to get up to the high positions of your plant. This is why you have to include your cat ladders and your staircases, as well as your walkway for the engineers to be able to access parts of the plant that are high up and be able to maintain your piping systems. Whenever there's something that needs to be changed, you must include all this in your plant layout or your 3D representation. Yes, so this is some of the things that we have studied here. This is an ongoing project, and yes, so thank you for listening.
Okay, so this is the plant. When we are talking about the plant layout, this is now in 2D, which is AutoCAD. Yeah, so you can see the fin fans, the vessels, horizontal, vertical vessels, the pipe networking system, then the part list, all those. Then it shows even the learner who did it, the working space, and so on. Yeah, so this one is the plant layout. We also have
Now the equipment designs. On the equipment, like this is the tank. It's a fully finished one. It's a vendor drawing. Yeah, done. This is the student's work, the projects that they do. Then you have got now all the details, the cut ladder, and all the details of the small parts of the cut ladder. So this is ready to be used for fabrication, for construction. We also have now the strips that you use when you are building this tank, and these are the strip designs. Yeah, so that is the, then you print these drawings. Once you finish, you print them. Then also the plant layout you print. So that's how it is done.
You have got all these type of designs that are showing the plant, and you can see that the sieve has to be there, and the piping, for the piping has to be there. Mechanical equipment, they have to be there. And this is now what incorporates the whole plant, and this is presented in the drafting and design. So please make sure that you understand the whole field of plant to make in these disciplines, and there are more disciplines. You have got plant like in the submarine where they do the oil purification of oil in the ocean. You find there's a plant as a cell.